almost forgot. This free PDF of all the training content that you're about to watch is going to be offered to you for free, 100% free download, so you can get all the stuff covered in the PDF version right down to your email inbox. Make sure you stay through the end, in which we'll give you the link, and I hope you enjoy the training. Until then, I'll talk to you in a minute. Welcome to your free training, in which I am going to talk to you about the AAA value model and how it can enhance your real estate business, get you more leads, therefore more business, and therefore more money in your bank account. My name is Janine Sasso. I am the owner and founder of the Hyperlocal Real Estate Agent, and I am really excited to show you how this model here has changed my business. The AAA value model is based on three simple concepts, and I would like to show you those right here. What it is really a three-bubble system. We have our awareness bubble right here, our authority bubble, and then our appointment bubble. And all those are then leading to business. So what we want to do is we want to fill our awareness bubble with all those leads as much as possible. We want people to be aware of what we do for a living, so they know us, then they get to like us, they get to trust us, and they end up doing business with us, right? So the awareness bubble is really where it all starts right here. Bring awareness to what you do. And no worries, I'm going to talk to you about how to bring awareness of what you do in the next couple ones, so you do not have to worry about taking any notes right now. I'm going to have it all mapped out for you, so there will be no guesswork left. So the awareness bubble, we want to fill it. We want to fill it with as many people as possible. We want to have as many reach outs. We want to have as many leads in there as we can get. From the awareness bubble, we're moving on to your authority bubble right here. Your authority bubble is super important because it tells your leads, this is a person that I can trust to get the job done, get me the best possible deal on a house, get my home sold. Whatever it is that they have in terms of a real estate need, the authority bubble is where they are starting to see you getting results. And again, I'll break everything down for you step by step, but I want to give you that brief overview of what everything in this individual bubble here does. And then from there, we move on to our appointment bubble. We filter them down. It goes into the appointment, which is really straightforward. And then from there, it leads to business, which is our escrows, our closed sales, rented properties. However you generate your business, this is what ends up coming out. So let's talk about our awareness bubble in detail. What's the awareness bubble and how can we get people into it? One of the things we could do is video views. You want people to get to know you. And video views is actually something that's been done for years, centuries. Think about advertisement. Think about commercials on television, right? We've had it for decades now where people are running commercials, video views. They're getting the brand awareness. They're getting out there. They're having their stuff seen, and they're building a connection with the audience by simply being on video. So video views are a great way for us to raise awareness of who we are and what we do for a living. Next up, mailers. Mailers, in my opinion, are one of the greatest things we can do for brand awareness. They are definitely a little bit more on the expensive side if you simply send brand awareness ones. However, this is where I do teach a concept that is not only brand awareness mailers, it is also lead gen mailers. Super important that we make sure we always have a way to incorporate lead generation into those mailers. So awareness can be the video views, mailers. Next up, we got activities. How can you raise awareness with activities? I have here the little hashtag NMS, which stands for Neighborhood Marketing Strategies. Now, I'm a big fan of hyperlocal marketing for the reason that I can build awareness of what I do in a hyperlocal targeted area a lot better, a lot faster, and a lot more cost effective. Think about running ads online. If you run ads online, you have to spend a decent amount of money to saturate a 15-mile radius. Now, I don't know about you, but 15-mile radius, that could be upwards to like 200,000 houses. Now, that's a lot of houses you have to hit to become known, to have them become aware of who you are. If I remain hyper-local, if I focus my efforts on an area with a minimum of 300 homes or something like 3,000 homes, 4,000 homes, my impact is going to be a lot better, a lot bigger, and I get to that awareness point a lot faster, okay? So activities are super, super important when it comes to your awareness. Those can be neighborhood events, it could be community events, having charities that you're supporting. That's definitely something that can help boost your awareness of who you are and what you do for a living. Next up, signs. Of course, having signs, being visible. The biggest takeaway here is signs need to represent you. Think about the sign. If you're just putting a sign in the yard and it looks like every other person's sign in your brokerage, maybe there's a little problem right there. Make sure that maybe you add a writer that is particularly you. Maybe you have branded signs, something that is saying, hey, I know that sign. This is something that I associate with that agent because we're bringing awareness. Showings is another part we can do to bring awareness. When we're out and about, when we do things such as showings, I do encourage you guys to just take a selfie with your very first home that you're showing for your buyer, or when you walk into a listing appointment, and you're just portraying that you are active, you're doing business. A simple selfie, right here, saying like, hey, first showing for my buyers into your town here, and do you think they're going to find the one? Let me know in the comments below. You're asking for engagement, right? You're asking them to see what you're doing in a fun way without saying, hey, I'm a real estate agent, come by and sell a house with me. So showings, and that also works for inspections, walkthroughs. You can do a behind the scenes sneak peek if you're scheduling showings. If you're organizing your showing sheets, you can do it when you're just writing a listing description of like, hey, putting together a listing description for this, whatever brings awareness of you being active in the marketplace. Maybe you're just previewing properties. You can definitely put all of that in. And then the last part for awareness, you can run ads. So if you have a marketing budget, and this can be as low as $1 a day. So if you have a budget, you can consider spending it on ads and have them run on autopilot to generate leads for you and bring you that brand awareness. All those things are only designed to do one thing so far, which is make people aware of what you do for a living. Now that we talked about how to fill your awareness bubble, let's move on, and we're going to talk about what we can do to get our authority bubble built. Our authority bubble can be built in a few different ways. One of them is listings, right? You can have listings where you're like, okay, those are people that trusted you already. They said, hey, I know this lady is doing business with our neighbors. She has to be really good at what she does because our neighbors hired her, right? You can do it for radios. You could do it, and you build authority by simply saying somebody trusted me and you should trust me too. Definitely something you can leverage. Case studies. Case studies are one of my favorite things to build authority in my marketplace. I'll give you an example. One of my neighbors actually had their home listed, and it was a 3-bed, 1.5 baths, which is a rather small home in my area. Now, we ended up selling that home for the highest amount paid for a 1.5 bathroom home, and we turned it into a case study. How your neighbor got more money than anybody else in the neighborhood. Now, we talked about marketing in that one, photography, videos, social media exposure, and by just adding all those components in, that case study was setting me and my team up to be portrayed as the winning agents in that neighborhood. Super amazing that you can just put it together in a case study and have them view you as the expert. You don't have to tell them, I sell hundreds of homes. You don't have to tell them, I won that many awards. You don't have to tell them, I hold this many designations. That doesn't make a difference. Show them the results. Show them what happened. Let me tell you another story that just came recently from my buyers. My buyer purchased a home. We had the appraisal done. The appraisal came back $16,000 over the purchase price. So there is $16,000 in instant equity. Do you think that I could use that to probably have a case study put together based on killer negotiation strategies that will help you have instant equity in your home? If I was a buyer in the marketplace, I would probably be kind of intrigued how this buyer underpaid for a home, right? Like, it's a matter of how do you position it? What is it that they want? If it's a super hot market and you hear a success story of my agent helped me underpay for the property, you're like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? I want that. I hold a real estate negotiation expert negotiation designation, so I can definitely use it in my case study to continue building authority of what I do for a living. Bring them further into it, show them why they should work with me, and make sure my authority bubble is getting filled with more people ready to be one step closer to work with me. Closings, obviously, we've gotten results, we've closed on a house. You can use closings to build authority. Stories are one of my favorite ones to talk about, and it is because a story will always build a better human connection with your audience. Having a story there is just simply something like you have someone that has been saving up for their home for the longest time, right? Maybe they are like a single mom trying to make sure that they don't have to move anymore from rental to rental, and they are ready to have a stable life, and she wants to make it work. And she's saved, and she got an amazing job. She's actually working 2 jobs to make it work. And today's the day she finally gets to call this home. Her children are done moving from place to place because she's actually saving $200 a month instead of wasting it on rent. Her mortgage payment is lower, and she's finally able to work only 1 job. Like, that's a story people can connect with, right? That's something where people are saying, you know what? Good for her, or yes, awesome, or hey, I can relate to her. Whatever that story is, you will find people in your marketplace that are like, yes, I can connect with her. And there's other stories that we encounter on the daily basis in our businesses where we will speak to other members and be like, okay, here's another story of a homeless guy, for example. And he was homeless, sleeping under a bridge. He had nothing in his name. All he had was belongings in a grocery cart. He slept outside. He was eating out of the garbage can. And then he decided, you know what, this is not how he envisioned his life. He got up, he got some help, got a job. He saved up all the money. He had a decent amount of savings because he was used to not spending a lot, and he put it down as a down payment. He now has a roof over his head. His life's going in the right direction, and he's now a proud homeowner. Those are stories that people can connect with, right? Like, those are the stories that make us emotionally feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This is amazing. That's what you see where you tear up on the news. Those are the stories where you're like, yes. And those are the stories that will build authority of what we do for a living, which is not just sell that house, right? There's a lot more to what we do. Next up, we got contracts. You're writing contracts, meaning somebody found the home of their dreams and they're trusting you to write it. So you can put some social proof out there for that, right? If you're doing that, if you're writing a contract, if you're pulling comms, if you're delivering a CMA, if you are heading to a listing appointment, if you're taking a class of how to understand contracts better, just simply put it out there and continue building your authority in the marketplace. Next up, retargeting. We talked about brand awareness, our brand awareness bubble. We had ads on there. Now, those ads we can retarget, the people that were aware of what we do, right? We can now bring one step closer in our funnel, and we can say, hey, now that you know what I do for a living, let me show you how I do it with some of those things here. And now we are growing our connection with them based on retargeting. And then last but not least, testimonials. Testimonials are huge. Like, testimonials are actual people that will stand there and say, hey, we've worked with this person and I highly, highly recommend. Here's our experience. People love testimonials. I don't know about you, but when was the last time you bought something on Amazon and you did not take a glimpse of the reviews? Everybody loves looking at least at a review or 2 or 3 before they make a decision. Now, this might be a small purchase decision for like the $5, and that might be a large purchase decision, such as a house, right? Reviews are awesome. And best thing here is to do video testimonials. I can tell you from personal experience, getting our clients to go on video is like right? It's like one of those. And one of the things that you could do is, if you have that written testimonial, go and hire a college student, an actor, you know, attending college for acting. Find somebody that is willing to just read the couple lines that were left to you. It has to be real testimonials, okay? There's no fakes, there's nothing that we want to do here. But if you have the testimonial in writing and you just get an actor to simply state it, you could definitely use that as a testimonial, okay? Build your authority bubble, set yourself up as the authority, the expert in your marketplace. Which then brings me to the last one, which is really a short bubble, because all we're gonna do in that one is appointments. Our appointment bubble right here is listing appointments, buyer consultations, and referrals. Our appointment bubble is what ends up leading to business. This is really where we should be, you know, hands-on, doing all of the things with the client, one-on-one, to make sure we are getting to the result. Grab your free PDF right there at the end, because we're going to show you how to bring awareness to your brand for more business with the entire checklist in the back. Thank you guys so much for attending. I am the owner and founder of the Hyperlocal Real Estate Agent. You can find us on Facebook. Join us for more free training in which we're talking about what kind of mailers are working, brand awareness, lead generation, cultivating, converting, right? And we're talking about something like just this training that you've seen here. I'm super excited to get to know you more. Feel free to request access to our group, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.